Bom dia a todos. Vamos dar início à sessão de abertura da Conferência Apoio à Adoção da Perda sem Condenação na Recuperação de Ativos. É recomendável o uso de máscara durante o evento. Em nome do Sr. Diretor Nacional da Polícia Judiciária, Dr. Luís Neves, damos as boas-vindas aos ilustres convidados, aos distintos oradores e a todos os participantes que estão neste auditório ou a seguir-nos online. A presente conferência realiza-se no âmbito do Programa de Apoio à Adoção da Perda sem Condenação com Fisco Civil e é uma iniciativa do International Center for Asset Recovery, ICAR, Departamento Especializado do Basel Institute on Governance, financiado pelo Bureau of International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs do Departamento de Estado dos Estados Unidos da América, que explora o potencial de inovação na recuperação de bens através de mecanismos de perda com fisco sem condenação. Tem como objetivos reunir especialistas para abordar e trazer ao conhecimento dos países beneficiários diversos temas considerados como os mais pertinentes sobre a perda sem condenação com fisco civil, bem como divulgar a experiência de outros países que já possuam e apliquem a legislação relacionada e permitir um debate alargado sobre o tema. Vai agora usar da palavra a representante do Governo dos Estados Unidos da América, Tamara Schuman, Assistant Legal Counsel, Legal Forfeiture Unit do FBI.
Good morning, and welcome to the Lusophone Asset Recovery Conference. It is a privilege and an honor to be here on behalf of the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation and Department of Justice. The adoption of non-conviction-based forfeiture laws are supported by the U.S. government based on the recommendation of two international standards, the UN Convention Against Corruption and the standards of the Financial Action Task Force on Money Laundering. For the past 2 years, the U.S. Department of State Bureau of International Anti-Narcotics and Law Enforcement has funded the Basel Institute's International Center for Asset Recovery in supporting stakeholders in adopting non-conviction-based forfeiture as a tool for asset forfeiture recovery. This conference is being delivered within the framework of that funded program. The amount of money involved in corruption, fraud, and money laundering is estimated to be a staggering $20 billion to $40 billion or more per year. Therefore, asset recovery is an essential component of any country's anti-corruption and anti-money laundering response because it strengthens the quality and effectiveness of a country's rule of law, which in turn strengthens the public's trust in government. Asset recovery or non-conviction-based forfeiture laws provide for the seizure and forfeiture of stolen assets without the need for a criminal conviction. Non-conviction-based forfeiture laws are essential when the wrongdoer is deceased, has fled the jurisdiction, or is immune from prosecution. Non-conviction-based forfeiture laws use civil standards of proof. Because a non-conviction-based forfeiture action is an action directed against the asset itself, it can succeed regardless of whether or not there is a criminal case. Additionally, recovered and forfeited assets can also be used by a government to finance development or to use them for poverty reduction efforts. The US uses non-conviction-based forfeiture laws extensively and promotes this asset recovery tool for adoption and use by other countries. It is a critical tool for asset recovery, particularly in cases where the proceeds are transferred abroad or attempts have been made to hide ownership. In fact, in many instances, it is the only mechanism available at the disposal of prosecutors and law enforcement to recover the proceeds of crime and to restore justice to the victims. Asset recovery is a very complex and technical process. In the US, there are many laws, policies, and procedures that govern and guide the implementation of non-conviction-based forfeiture. These laws, policies, and procedures not only guide prosecutors and law enforcement, but they also seek to protect innocent ownership interests and procedural rights guaranteed by our Constitution. Enacting and using non-conviction-based forfeiture laws will provide additional opportunities to pursue justice in your countries and to build strategic alliances, cooperation, and international partnerships. Combating corruption, fraud, and money laundering is truly a global effort. Thank you for all the hard work you are doing to learn about and to bring non-conviction-based forfeiture laws to your countries.
Bom dia e bem-vindos. Her Excellency Attorney General of Portugal, His Excellency National Director of the Judicial Police, His Excellency President of the Court of Appeal of Timor-Leste, His Excellency Attorney General of Cape Verde, His Excellency Attorney General of Timor-Leste, His Excellency the President of the High Council of the Judiciary of Cape Verde, His Excellency Vice Attorney General of Mozambique, esteemed speakers and moderators, esteemed members of the Lusophone knowledge community, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to begin by thanking our donor, the US Department of State Bureau of International Anti-Narcotics and Law Enforcement. We're also grateful to Portugal's Judicial Police for allowing us to use this wonderful auditorium. And I would be remiss not to thank my own team, José Luis Praguesh, Margarida Bandeira de Lima, and Amanda Proctor. They have worked tirelessly over the last couple of months to make this, to bring this conference into fruition. As the US representative has just mentioned, this conference is part of a program which seeks to promote and support the application of non-conviction-based forfeiture. To this end, the program does 4 things. 1, it generates knowledge and shares it through knowledge communities. 2, it conducts research to understand how non-conviction-based forfeiture might be applied in different jurisdictions. 3, it supports drafting non-conviction-based forfeiture legislation. And 4, it provides case-based mentoring and support in the context of specific non-conviction-based forfeiture cases. In terms of its scope, the program is implemented in 3 different clusters. The Latin America cluster brings together Colombia, Chile, and Brazil. The Sub-Saharan Africa cluster includes Kenya, Zambia, and Sierra Leone. And third, the Lusophone cluster comprises the countries participating in this event today. The International Center for Asset Recovery has been championing non-conviction-based forfeiture for years. Non-conviction-based forfeiture laws are particularly powerful in corruption cases, where it is often impossible to trace proceeds of corruption back to a specific corrupt act. By increasing the possibilities of authorities to recover the proceeds of corruption and other crime, such laws also help ensure the crime doesn't pay. In this way, they help deter corruption and generate resources for sustainable development. We are particularly encouraged by the forward momentum for non-conviction-based forfeiture in the global South. Peru, for instance, has managed to recover more than $100 million since the adoption of the non-conviction-based forfeiture law in 2018. It's been our privilege to assist with some of these recoveries, including assets held in financial centers like Switzerland. Similarly, Kenya is fast becoming a non-conviction-based forfeiture leader in Sub-Saharan Africa. Our partner, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, has recovered more than 150 million since 2015. One of the most prominent achievements of this program has been the establishment of the Lusophone knowledge community. We've been impressed by the extraordinary camaraderie and close ties between all the jurisdictions. Having a close-knit community is key to share best practices. It is also crucial to ensure international cooperation in the context of specific cases. Corrupt officials use increasingly sophisticated methods to hide their ill-gotten gains in foreign jurisdictions. To respond to that, effective mutual legal assistance is of critical importance. Whilst the US Department of State funded program ends in September, ICAR is committed to continuing to support this community in the years to come. It would be our privilege to continue our partnership to strengthen your asset recovery capabilities. To conclude, I wanted to wish you all a very productive conference. I'm very much looking forward to 3 days of rich discussions. Let's see which Portuguese-speaking country is the first to adopt non-conviction-based forfeiture. The race is on. Thank you.